What's going on, everybody? Marvel the Cross 316 back with another comic book flashback. Today we are looking at Ultimate Spider-Man issue number 48, and today's title is Suspended. And so today, folks, we're going to see exactly what that means, who is going to be suspended today, and so we'll have to figure all this out as we continue to look at this issue. Last issue, we saw J. Jonah Jameson fire Peter Parker from the Daily Bugle just for asking a question. And that is where we're going to pick up right now at the start of this issue here. And we see that Jameson is speaking with Joe Robertson, and we see Peter Parker comes into the room. He's like, "What, Parker? What?" Parker says, those are my zip disk. I paid for them with my own money, and I was packing up my stuff." Jameson says, "Well, go ahead then. Don't make a thing of it." And we see that Joe Robertson sticks up for Peter, and he's just like, "Come on, man. He just asked you a question." But Jameson is just a tightwad, you know how he is. But anyway, he says, "You better believe it." "Never mind." And Peter Parker says, "No, you know what? That's a total load, man." "Excuse me?" "It is what I said. It All right," he said. "It was how I said it? How I did say it? All I did was ask you a question. I wasn't yelling or being anything but polite. I asked you a question. You're this older man of, experience, and I was asking you a question about something I didn't know the answer to. And instead of answering the question because I guess you didn't like the answer you fired me. And that's okay, I guess. I mean, you can fire me for whatever reason you want, but don't give me that it's not what I said, it's how I said it. I asked you a question and you fired me. And now you're double fired. Do I have to call security?" And so Peter Parker walks out of the building, swings out of the building, and he is just furious with himself. He's like, "I can't believe it. I got fired. I opened my mouth and I got fired. Great, just great. Is there some kind of world's record I'm hitting for the youngest total loser in New York City?" And he's swinging past Fisk Tower, and he sees the sign for Sam Bullitt, who is running for district attorney. And we see that Spider-Man, it said, he sees it and it says, "Vote Sam Bullitt in the madness." And Spider-Man's like, "That's the way it is? Hey, I'm such a piece of crap, I might as well go over there and act like one." So we see Wilson Fisk is listening to a bunch of Sam Bullitt's men here about voting for Sam Bullitt, and Peter Parker, as Spider-Man, is going to try to swing in and crash into the building, but instead he crashes into the window. Is not that not breakable as he thought it would be. It's probably made out of plexiglass, and so he's then like, I can't believe it. So he shoots more web lines here, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my." And we see that Wilson Fisk is looking out the window here, smiling. And he's like, "Call me." And they're like, "Oh my gosh." He said, "Come out of here. Come out here and face me, you son of a." And he's like, swings off, just frustrated with himself. So at school the next day, we see that the teacher is wrapping up class. There's like 10 minutes left in the class. And she's asking, is there anyone that wants to discuss world events that's going on? Peter raises his hand and he asks about Wilson Fisk being allowed to walk around like he didn't kill someone. And she said, "What's on your mind, Mr. Parker?" He said, "Yeah, how is he allowed to walk around like he didn't kill someone?" The teacher says, "Well, the court said he didn't." Peter says, "No, the court threw out the videotape of him murdering someone as evidence. Didn't say he didn't do it." "Well, our legal system, yeah, it sucks." "No, we have a system of checks and balances, and it sucks. Mr. Parker, I'm asking you, do you think that this is right? Do you think it's fair that he should be allowed out in the real world like this?" "Do I think it's fair? Well, I think that our judicial system has its flaws, but it does serve us well, and you have to look at the bigger picture. And what is that? What? The bigger picture. A murderer is out free. What's the bigger picture? I guess, well, he does a lot of good for the city as well. Okay, anybody have any questions about the homework or and Peter, blurts out, and this is where he's going to get in trouble. He's, oh, that is such a load of crap. I am so sick of all this compromise. Everyone is so willing to bend over and look the other way. Mr. Parker, when does this happen exactly? During college, after college, when you turn 30? When do you just give up to the point where you can actually look me in the eye and say, sure, he murders, but he's got good qualities too? And this is when Peter Parker is going to be suspended from school because of this argument. She asked him to leave the class. Mary Jane and Gwen are like, oh my gosh. He's like, fine, I think I learned enough today. And so we see that Aunt May is going to then pick up Peter Parker from school. She's at work, and she's like, suspended? And he's like, you threatened your social studies teacher? He said, no, I swear. Then what did you do? Not even close. Maybe I insulted her, like accidentally, but I didn't even mean to do that. But Peter, you lose your job and get suspended in one 24-hour period. He said, yeah, yippee-doo for me. Are you sure you didn't threaten her? No, I swear. All I did was ask about, do you know that's Wilson Fisk thing? And so we see that Aunt May brings up the fact that, look, I know what this is about. This is about Uncle Ben's murderer. Don't worry, he's in jail, okay? He's going to stay there, okay? And he said, no, I was really, and she doesn't want to listen to Peter. And she just says, you apologize to your teacher. He said, yeah. So, okay, good. Man, I really like that job about the Daily Bugle. And she said, I know. So she calls Jameson, and she says, yes, hello, my name is May Parker. I'm Peter Parker's aunt and legal guardian. I just wanted to say that your behavior towards Peter was nothing short of deplorable, you shallow-minded, unconscionable piece of rat beep. No wonder no one reads your piece of crap paper, you egomaniac. Oh, and nice mustache. Hitler called. He said he wants his look back. And she slams the phone down. She says, okay, so what do you want for dinner? And so we see that Sam Bullitt is going to then be interviewed by Ben Urich here, and we see that he's asking basically asking Sam Bullitt about why he's going after these superheroes. He thinks that superheroes are just a terrible monstrosity to society, and we see here that as they continue to talk here, we see that Ben Urich is going to look up, and he notices that Sam Bullitt has taken a picture with Wilson Fisk, the Kingpin, and when they went on that fishing trip. So now Ben Urich knows that Sam Bullitt has close ties with the Kingpin of crime. And he's like, yeah, that was one hell of a fishing trip. You should have. And does your smoke and fire theory apply to Wilson Fisk as well? How do you mean? Man's accused of many things, above all murder. An alleged tape of the murder is aired to the public, but he walks. Hey, what is this? Your law partner, Walter Denny, is his reported consigliere. His legal, what are you? I'm asking your opinion of Wilson Fisk's situation. You're running for district attorney. Certainly you have a stance on, I thought we had an understanding, and this is when he's going to threaten Ben Urich. What he's going to do is he's going to grab the recorder and he smashes it. He said, what's the matter with you? I thought we had an understanding. So this is making Sam Bullitt look very suspicious here. And we see that Ben Urich is going to tell Jameson and Joe Robertson about this. But luckily, Ben was able to keep a separate recorder inside of his coat jacket here. And so he always brings two tape recorders just in case. Jameson gets mad and he's like, I told you to go over there and write a simple profile. You instigated. And Ben's like, are you serious, Jonah? I asked him a simple question. His office has a relationship with the Kingpin. It's public record. He had to know it was going to come up. He said, we're endorsing this man. And then he's like, the guy crumbled in 2 minutes. 2 minutes. And then he went and threatened me. So what? I got to go write this campaign strategy too? Or he's going to muscle me? Our next district attorney? What is this? The 30s? You see what I'm saying, Jonah? This whole thing stinks. This is so beneath you. Watch your mouth, Urich. And so we see that then he's going to get a phone call from May Parker. He listens to it, and we see that he then looks at Sam Bullott's poster, and he looks exactly at Spider-Man here. So what does this mean? Why is Jameson looking at Sam Bullott's poster? We'll have to figure out all this in the next issue, in issue number 49. Hope to see you there. But before then, go ahead and give this video a like. Comment down below what you liked about this issue. Subscribe if you have not. And I will see y'all in the next one.